What's up guys, Lyman here, and with the 2017 NAMM show right around the corner, I wanted to film a quick video and give you guys a bit of insight as to what I carry around with me during an event like this. Having the proper tools to get the job done, whether you're doing filming work, editing work, taking pictures, or what have you, is paramount to success. So I'm going to be giving you guys just some examples of some things that I carry around every day to make sure I get the job done right. Let's take a look at the bag first. This is the Langley Alpha Pro camera bag backpack, and I would not change a single thing about it. I'm in love with this thing. This camera bag backpack features military grade twill in order to help keep water out, brass fittings, and leather accents in order to make for a beautiful bag. Not only is it aesthetically very pleasing, it also features a sleeve that can accommodate a 15-inch laptop. Additionally, it also has a very large upper storage area that's going to be weather sealed with the water-resistant coating on the outside of the bag in addition to the zipper on top. The bottom portion of this bag features rugged inserts that easily accommodates my Sony a7R II and additional lenses, as well as some other trinkets. One of my absolute favorite things about this bag is the fact that it has a tripod holder on the bottom of it. Whether you're trying to climb a mountain, or when you're trying to go through airport security, or when you're just trying to travel in general with a tripod, it can be rather cumbersome. Having it securely fastened at the bottom of the bag makes it that it's out of harm's way and it's also out of your hands. As far as items inside the bag are concerned, I'm going to be starting off with one of my favorite items, and that's a moleskin journal. These things are incredibly handy in keeping track of all the things that are going on and all the appointments that I need to have, and I cannot recommend one of these enough. I'll link a really effective way of journaling everything in your life in the description of this, and when I started doing this, it really changed my perspective on productivity, so I would highly recommend checking it out. Up next is going to be my 13-inch MacBook Pro, and to be honest, I'm not the biggest fan of Macintosh computers, but this thing is great for all-around media consumption and for doing light video editing work. I really love the form factor and the fact that it's so small and lightweight. It makes it really easy to take on a plane and just consume media or what have you. So you get what you get with a Mac. So moving on to some camera equipment, I'm going to be taking some of these Yongyo YN560 Mark III speed lights in addition to a Yongyo manual flash controller. And while I'm probably going to be taking a lot more video than photos on this trip, it's always nice to have some speed lights for some off-camera flash solutions if you ever need some creative lighting or what have you. So always nice to take some of these anywhere you go. So up next is going to be some products that I use for storage on the go. I've got 3 of these SanDisk Cruiser Glide USB 3.0 256 gigabyte flash drives that I really enjoy. These things have never let me down and they've always worked well. I would highly recommend them, and they're dirt cheap right now. I think a 256 gigabyte one is like 45 bucks at Best Buy. In addition to that, I always take extra SD cards for any shots. So I have 2 128 gigabyte, one of them's in my camera for filming this, and then I also have one 64 gigabytes at a lower transfer speed of 60 megabytes per second. So while this one is great for doing photos and that sort of thing, I would not recommend it for 4K video. Up next is going to be one of my favorite recently acquired items, and that is this Anker 20,000 milliamp hour battery bank. Having one of these at a big convention is really important because if your phone dies when you're out and about, and I'll probably be on my feet for 12 hours a day during this show, then I can't be in contact with the people that I really need to be in contact with. So having your phone charged up on the go and not having to stop and charge your phone every hour or so or what have you is tremendously important. It also serves the purpose of charging my camera. So something I really like about the Sony cameras is their ability to be charged with an external battery pack. So Sony cameras are notorious for having terrible battery life. It's one of my only gripes about it. But this effectively is going to give me all-day performance from one battery, which is really cool. So this is an absolute lifesaver, or something like this is an absolute lifesaver for anybody that's going to be filming with a mirrorless Sony camera. I can't recommend it enough. Alright guys, the next thing I'm going to talk about is the camera that I'm using to film this video on right now, and it is the Sony a7R II. It's by far my favorite camera I've ever owned, and some of the features about it that I really love are the 4K internal video recording, the ability to shoot in low light, which the low light capabilities on this thing are absolutely phenomenal, and is even more impressive because it has a 42 megapixel sensor, and usually when you have a sensor that large, your low light performance is going to suffer on a camera, but that is absolutely not the case on this one. It's not going to be as good as the Sony a7S II, but that camera is essentially designed to see in the dark, so what can you do? This thing is absolutely phenomenal for taking stills as well as taking video, and I cannot recommend this thing enough. If you're looking for an all-in-one camera solution, this is about as close as you can get to it in the consumer grade market. Alrighty guys, when I talk about the lens that I'm going to be using for filming most of everything, I'm probably going to be using my Canon 24-105 f4L lens. This lens is an absolute beast, and for run and gun video work, I think it's probably one of the best solutions out there, especially for the price tag for a Canon mount. This lens is incredibly sharp across all the focal lengths, from all the way from 24, which is super wide, all the way to 105, which is telephoto. There are two things I really don't like about the lens, and one of it is that at the 24mm, so at the super wide focal length, you get a little bit of dark vignetting around the edges, which is typical of a super wide-angle lens in a zoom lens like this. Additionally, the maximum aperture of f4 means that you're not going to be able to use this lens in incredibly low light situations or achieve that very shallow depth of field that's great for the cinematic look. However, with the low light capabilities of the camera being so good like I was previously mentioning about, this isn't necessarily an issue. So moving on to guitar equipment, some things that will really help for the NAMM show, obviously you're going to be carrying a lot of guitar picks with you. And now you guys know my love for Kiesel guitars. They're some of the best guitars on the planet, I think. I love working with them. I carry around a Kiesel guitar pick tin that comes with some picks inside of it. And these are a variant on the Tortex Jazz style pickups, and in one of these you're going to end up getting everything from 0.73 millimeters all the way up to 1.14 millimeters, so a nice sort of medium thickness all the way up to a lot thicker, and these are covered in a nice powder that's going to be anti-sweat, so it's not going to slip out of your fingers when you're playing. I can't recommend them enough. It's some of my favorite guitar picks out there, and they're Kiesel branded, so what's not to like about that? So moving on to another guitar gadget that is a must for NAMM is going to be a guitar strap. And this was actually a tip I picked up from Trey Xavier over at Gear Gods. And basically at NAMM, you're not going to get a chance to sit down with the guitars a lot of the time. So you're going to end up having to play them awkwardly standing up, maybe resting it on your leg. So obviously a guitar strap is going to be helpful. This one comes with some locking functionality with like a plastic spring-loaded lock. I don't know how well or effective that is going to work, although I've never dropped a guitar, but it's just a nice little added bit of reassurance, so I would not be worried. So now just for some general media consumption sort of stuff, I really like this Fugu wireless speaker. I'm a big music guy. Obviously, I'm going to the NAMM show. I love playing guitar, I play trumpet, I play piano, and being able to enjoy music wirelessly everywhere in a good form factor. This thing is super resilient and it's waterproof. So that means you can listen to music when you're in the shower or what have you. Can't recommend this thing enough. I love it. You can go and check them out. Alright, moving on guys. One of the things I'm going to talk about now that's definitely an everyday carry for me is going to be business cards. Business cards are a great way to kind of substantiate your validity. So if you roll up to somebody and you're going to be talking about a good business opportunity or a good mutually beneficial agreement, it's great to be able to exchange information with a business card. I got mine from Vistaprint and I was able to design these myself with my photography. Super easy, go and check it out. It's a very small monetary investment that has big returns, so I would highly recommend getting some business cards for yourself. Alrighty guys, and the last thing I'm going to talk about is more of a travel hack than anything, but I don't travel anywhere on a plane without one, and that is a surge protector. We all know how much of a pain it is trying to find a spare outlet in an airport, and this will assuredly be able to make you friends at an airport as well as get your devices charged. So super easy, super simple, ridiculously inexpensive. Pick up one of these if you're going to be traveling and you will almost assuredly be able to find a place to charge your devices. Alrighty guys, thank you so much for watching this video. There's going to be plenty more content where this came from, so if you want to see something specific from the NAMM show, leave a comment in the comment section below and let me know. Also, if you want to see some behind the scenes action and see some really fun and exciting stuff, then I would implore you to check out my Instagram and my Snapchat, which is going to be right here. Additionally, don't forget to subscribe to this video if you want to see more, and maybe give me a like if you feel like you liked the video. Otherwise, let me know what I could change in the comments below. Take it easy, guys.